In the previous class, we have discussed about operating system, like definition, a need for an operating system, functions, and as well as the features and operating system. Hope you are all following that. And while listening, please open your textbooks and underline the different terminology while explanation. So today I'm going to continue the lesson of types of operating system. So first of all, we have to know what are the different types of operating system. So operating systems are many different types, and those are all divided into single user and multi-user operating systems. So first I'll discuss what is single user, and then we'll go for the multi-user operating system. So here the single user operating system allows and only one user to work with the computer at a time. And multi-user operating system, multiple users to work on the same computer at different times or simultaneously. Means so many users can work simultaneously on a one single computer, so which is called as a multi-user operating system. So there are different operating systems like MS-DOS, and as well as the Windows, Unix. So here if you see that different examples for operating system like DOS, Windows 7, Mac OS, Macintosh operating system, and Windows 8, Linux. These are all examples for different operating system. Here first single user operating system, which is the example of our PC. So here only one user can work with the computer at a time. And next a multi-user operating system. If you see this diagram, and it allows many users, like right side 1, 2, 3. So here the three different computers are connected to the server. So it allows many users to use the same computer at the same time or the different times. Therefore, this main computer is attached to many other computer. So this main computer is, you can call it as a server also. So this is called as a multi-user operating system. So in the examples already I have mentioned Windows, Macintosh, DOS, Unix, Linux. These are all examples for operating systems. And here a few examples of multi-user operating system. So Windows network, which is called as a Windows NT, Unix, and Linux. These are the best examples for multi-user operating system. So now the topic is user interface. So first we'll define what is user interface. Generally, user interface is the visual part of the operating system. It is through user interface that a user gives a command or instructions to the computer and receive messages from the computer. So we are just giving instructions to the computer, and then again the computer receive the messages as well as sending the messages also. So the first user interface refers to the hardware and software mechanism by which a user and a computer interact with each other. Here, if an operating system does not offer any user interface, the user cannot interact with the computer. So here the types of user interfaces we'll discuss now. Several different types of user interfaces have been designed for the different hardware to serve different purposes. So two of the most common types of user interfaces used in computers. The one is graphical user interface. The another one is character user interface. So first we'll discuss character user interface. Here if you see this picture, in this type of interface, a keyboard is used for the user input, and monitor for the computer output. So we are just using keyboard as an input as well as using the monitor for the output. When the user interface is started, a blank screen appears with a line for the user to type the commands. There are no images or graphics on the screen. Generally, CUI does not support pointing devices like mouse and etc. And the best examples, MS-DOS and the Windows command prompt, which you are seeing on the screen. The second one, the graphical user interface. This interface uses graphical components for interaction, and these graphical components usually comprise of windows, icons, menus, pointers, and this is it's a type of user interface which allows people to interact with computer with images rather than the text commands, and it accepts only input via keyboard and pointing devices, and it is easy to learn, and input is accepted using devices such as the keyboard and the mouse. This GUI displays icons, buttons, dialog boxes on the screen. So users can give commands by selecting and clicking icons displayed on the screen. A mouse can use to select, click and drag the items on the screen. So most of the modern computers are a graphical user interface only. So Windows 7 is an best example of OS that offers a GUI. In this graphical user interface, you will find different types of icons, menus and pointers. So now I am going to differentiate the character user interface and the graphical user interface. So the first one is character user interface. So the first point, it is a character user interface, and this one is the graphical user interface. In this character user interface, only it will work, this application's maximum works with the help of by making use of commands, and this side this user interacts with the applications by making use of graphics. Now under the character user interface, only one task can run at a time, but in the GUI more than one task can run simultaneously. And again under the CUI, everything is done by using the commands. So if you observe, maximum we are just giving commands to the keyboard, but under the GUI, user interacts with the pointing devices or like the applications using the devices like a mouse. Okay, so best examples for character user interface is MS-DOS, Unix, and best examples for graphical user interfaces Windows, Linux. Windows is the most common operating system used in nowadays. So it is a GUI based operating system. Windows 7 opens all documents and applications in individual rectangular boxes called window. So now on the screen you will find there is a one window such as shown on this figure 1.3 in the textbook also. So the components of typical window are shown on the screen, and if you observe all those here, the different components of a typical window are shown. So the first one is address bar, and it is the horizontal bar located at the top of the window. In this screen, so I'm just showing you only the file menu bar, title bar, maximize, minimize, and the toolbars, vertical scroll bar, horizontal scroll bars, and all those. So generally the address bar is located on the top of the window. The address bar shows the path of the application documents opened in the window. And the second one is the frame. If you see that it is usually located above the contents. So this is above the contents of the window, has a menu bar or toolbar or both. So if you see that here, the menu bar and as well as the toolbar, both are comes under the frame. And the next one, the menu bar. So in this screen you will see there is a menu bar and even the toolbar also. So the toolbar and the menu bar both comes under the frame. So menu bar, if you see the menu bar, there is a file menu, edit menu, search, view, tools. So different menus comes under the file menu bar. Generally each item on the menu bar has a drop down menu of various options. If you click on any menu, so you'll get a drop down menu of a different various options that you can see when you click file menu or edit menu, any other menus. The next one is the toolbar. It contains clickable buttons for commonly used commands. So different types of buttons that are available on the toolbar. In the latest version of Windows, this menu bar and as well as the toolbar have been replaced by the ribbon that we discussed in higher sections. The next topic, scroll bars. These bars which can drag to show different parts of the contents in the open window on the screen. So there are two types of scroll bars. One is the horizontal scroll bar and the one is the vertical scroll bar. The scroll bars are visible only when the content is more than what can fit with the window. So now the status bar, just see them down. It is long horizontal bar present by default at the bottom of the window. It displays useful bits of information related to the content of the window. Next, minimize, maximize, restore and close buttons. So if you observe on the screen, like with the arrows, the first button is the minimize, second one is the maximize, third one is resize, close. So these are the buttons are there. These buttons are typically located at the top right corner of the window. The minimize button reduces the window to button to the taskbar, and clicking on the respective button on the taskbar returns to the window to its original size. Next, the maximize button, which enlarges the window to fill the entire desktop. When window is maximized, the maximize button changes to 1 with 2 squares. The restore down button, clicking on the restore button down restores the window its to original size. So when you are working on the computer, you will come to know that once you minimize and maximize and even the restore, which is called here these are all buttons. The restore down button is there also available. When you click on the restore down button, it restores the window to its original size. Not only this, you can also change the size of the window manually. So when it is in the restore state, move the pointer to the lower right corner, click and drag the border down right to enlarge the window, or up and left reduce its sizes. You can resize a window along any of its 4 corners. So here the down and the right side or the left and top corners, so are sides to change either the height or the width of that. So in the textbook even you can refer the figure number 1.5. So how you are going to minimize the applications buttons on the taskbar, as well as how you are going to resizing a window along with the corner and along with the sides. The close button also available. So if you click on the close, and it will close the window. So here, for a better understanding purpose, I just opened my computer. If you open the My Computer window, so on the window you'll find there are different types of folders on the left side. In the middle you will find there is a scroll bar, and the down you will find there is a status bar, and then on the right top corner you will find there is a minimize, maximize, and close buttons. So once you open the window in your My Computer, and you will find all these which are comes under the graphical user interface. So students, so today, so we have discussed different topics. So in the graphical user interface there are many advantages. So one by one I will just give idea. First one is it is very user friendly, and the second one, it is very easy to operate. Then character user interface, and the third one, we can work more than one software at a time in the GUI. For example, when I'm working on the PowerPoint, at the same time I can go back to Google Chrome or Internet Explorer, and I can search some important images or even the websites, and I can even copy and insert the images into the PowerPoint. And the third one, this interfaces uses the graphics and images with multimedia support. So we can play the videos background, and we can play the songs, as well as we can play the other music also. At the same time we can work with the other applications also. And the next one, users can interact with the computers through the clicks of the mouse, and there is no need of typing the commands like in character user interface. So students, so in this session I have explained about different types of operating system, single user, multi-user, and then I have explained about the user interface, CUI and the GUI, and different examples for character user interface and graphical user interface, as well as the difference between the CUI and GUI. And even I have explained different components on the window like address bar, frame, menu bar, toolbar, scroll bars, status bar, minimize, maximize, restore buttons, close buttons, etc. Finally, even I have discussed about advantages of the graphical user interface. Thank you.